What about it, YouTube? Alright, so as things progress forward, uh, I don't want to try to reference everything that, in my mind, comes to the point I'm trying to make. Hopefully, you've seen for yourself things like Cynthia Johnson making her threat, and I mean, right? So we know what to expect from the commies. And I'm sorry the Democratic Party has decided to go communist, but it's getting almost synonymous. Pretty much it is synonymous, communism and Democratic Party. If you're still in the Democratic Party and you don't identify as a communist, you need to find somewhere else to go, probably, because that's what they are. They're communists. And in every way, they're the most dishonest, hateful, agitative, and mean domestic terrorist operation that the country's probably ever seen. So, I wonder if I got a Jewfro, if I would look like the greatest American hero. Maybe a little bit, I don't know. But Trump, I think, will end up historically as the greatest American hero. I think what's about to take place, folks, is going to eclipse anything else in U.S. history, whether it be Lincoln or anybody else. This right here has more of an obvious impact on not just our country and its future, but the entire world and its future. Because we see the Great Reset shit and everything, right? And we see Biden talking about we're going to do climate accords and Green New Deal and all of this, right? And lockdowns and life will never be the same and contact tracing and updated vaccine cards and the list goes on and on and on that shows you the threat that we're up against locally, nationally, and internationally. Okay? I was very skeptical of Trump. I'm never 100 on any man except for Jesus. But I have changed my thinking on Trump because at this point, if he was just WWE, there would be other ways for him to fall on his sword, right? He could play possum, fall on his sword, and then, sorry folks, I tried. Okay? I don't see that with him now. I could be wrong, but I don't see that with him. I think he sees what we all see is this pivotal point in American history. And I don't think he wants to go out with a legacy of the backstabbing possum WWE fall on the sword clown. I don't think he wants, because that will be, there's one or the other choice. He can either be the greatest American hero or he can be the biggest WWE clown of all time. That's basically how he'll go down. And I think he wants the former, not the latter. So, what I see happening, I never thought ever that I would wait, almost thirst for the day of the suspension of habeas corpus, where I would thirst for the day of martial law. I never thought ever in my life that that's what I would want. But that's exactly what I want. That's exactly what I want. I want, now that YouTube's making threats, we can just go ahead and put rest in peace YouTube 2006 to 2020 now and make that a meme on a headstone. Because if they start taking down shit like they're talking about taking down stuff, excuse the language, I'll be out of here. Everybody that talks sense will be out of here. Everyone who's got any kind of patriotism DNA in their body will be out of here. Okay? And it'll be an echo chamber of communism, which is, I guess, what they want. These tolerant effers, right? These inclusive effers, right? Because they're so loving and they care so much about life and COVID that they can't wait to kill a baby in the womb. They're completely disordered. They're completely out of their minds, batshit insane. And they're completely unhinged emotionally and dangerous to themselves and those around them. Particularly to your family, the future of your family, the future of this nation, like I said. So, bring it. Trump, the greatest American hero, bring it. Bring your executive order in. Bring in the Insurrection Act. Bring in the suspension of habeas corpus. Start rounding people up. YouTube, round them up. I don't care. I don't care if I get on YouTube tomorrow when it's dark. Just so that this happens. Just so we can actually flush the toilet. Forget draining the swamp. Flush the frickin' toilet and be done with it. Is not everybody been gaslighted for the longest? Has not everybody's life been on pause for the longest while we wait to see, right? While we wait to see how we're going to be affected by globo homo, while we wait to see how we're going to be affected by hypergamy, the destruction of the family, while we wait to see all of this, I'm done, right? I've done my work, and now we're here. The reason you don't hear about new wave atheism anymore, the reason you don't hear about MGTOW hardly anymore, the reason why so many of these ideas have been shuffled into a dustbin is because of those like me who went after it. So now we're at this point, and I'm just saying, for the rest of those that are still lingering, who have seared their heart, who have seared themselves away from God, seared themselves away from any kind of honesty, seared themselves away from any kind of discourse, who have completely embraced hatred, agitation, chaos, destruction, and just the most satanic future that it could be imaginable because of their own disorder, because they want everyone to be as miserable inside as they feel. I'm ready for them to just be flushed. No more habeas corpus. Guess what? You're at a military tribunal. You've been acting in some kind of anti-American fashion, teaming up with this group or that group. Okay, explain it to a military tribunal. I think they can have lawyers for civilians in a military tribunal, but you know what you don't have? You don't have bail, right? You don't get out on technicalities, okay? It's going to be a lot of differences going on. You better hope you have a solid 100% alibi and that they listen to it, because chances are if you're there, you're not leaving. They've got enough on you that the reason you were picked up is because they don't want you in society. You have no place in American society. You've seared your heart away from America. There's no more discussion or banter or coming to terms or negotiation or discourse. Listen to Cynthia Johnson. She's explained where it's at. Judge them by their fruits. Do any of them want to listen to what you have to say? No. They don't want to listen to what you have to say. If you try to call them to God, you try to call them to righteousness, if you try to correct their disorder, then you're again attacked. And they have more fuel for their victimhood narrative. So I'm ready. I am more than ready. And asking for a complete shutdown. Goodbye ABC, CBS, Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, Twitter, Discord, if it's not already gone, Facebook, YouTube, maybe Google. Bye. We don't need you. Zuckerberg's definitely got to be locked up. I mean, there's there's everything I need to support whatever Trump does. So don't, you know, the bad thing in Trump doing what I'm talking about is there's going to be a certain percentage of people who don't understand it. If they understood it, then they would be okay with it, I guess, is what I'm thinking. But if you get caught off guard, all of a sudden Trump's acting like a dictator and stealing an election because he's a sore loser. That's, even with all this other crap shut down, that could be the thinking in some people's minds. So whatever this video is for, it's just to sort of get your mind wrapped around this time in history, what's very likely to occur, what I'm actually calling for to occur, which you may live through. That is the suspension of habeas corpus and the rest of this. And I'll just reiterate once again something I've preached for years. Don't get involved. Do not show your butt. Okay? Be very vigilant. Be very wise. Think through whatever you do. But forefront should be you trying to get yourself and those around you to heaven. COVID again, strikes again. So, being a peacemaker, showing kindness, living by that example, that should be your number one, the number one face that you put on every morning. But also understand that there's an enemy. And also understand there may be a time that you've got to step outside your comfort zone and confront your enemy. That's if they bring it to you, is what I'm saying. Like, I'm not calling for you to go engage them. But if they engage you, you need to hit them off at the moment that they engage. Don't let them get established. Don't let them get organized. Don't let them get halfway through your neighborhood by the time you decide to do something about it. If they engage you, respond quick and hard. And let the chips fall. I'm telling you. I don't care. I'm going to do what's right, and I don't care of the earthly consequence. I care of the extra earthly, other earthly consequence. That's what I care about. Alright? So, whatever's whatever. And if I get, if I get hit or whatever, I mean, God is my protector. God is my healthcare provider. God and myself work together. And so if he decides, that he's done with my help, then I'm gone. But that's the only reason I even exist at this point. This shit show, worldly crap, I'm so done with it too. The only purpose in my life is to work for God and to please God. That's it. And to keep my dog healthy and fed. But other than that, there's really nothing else here. I mean, I got family I love, but there's really nothing else here. I'm not married. The hookup culture and everything, whatever else, it all passed me by. I tried to fit into the world with my values and tried to bend the world into a situation where I would be able to make it work, and it didn't work out for me. Now, I know there's people who have, families, and they would probably listen to this and be like, dude, I don't get your problems, right? But my circumstance led that way, and there's many like me, so I'm not the only one. And I am a victim, not that I'm crying, but I am a victim of the hookup culture and the hypergamy and the porno and everything else is disordered when it comes to pair bonding. So I don't have anything to worry about there, is what I'm saying. All I have is my relationship with God to worry about. And anyway, that's it for this video. Just be prepared for what should maybe happen in the near future, and try to be at peace with yourself. Try to stay strong in your relationship with the Lord, and don't be shocked, surprised, or upset if the things I was talking about earlier take place. You should welcome it, and you should be vigilant. Watch everything, watch everyone, watch all sides. But I really think that this is what we need. I think we need a good toilet flush. Alright, that's it. God bless.